Hi YouTube, this is Deetsy, and today we're going to be reviewing the AK-47. Before I start, I just want to show that the guns are indeed empty, and so are the magazines we will be using. The AK-47 fires a 7.62 by 39mm round. Here it is compared next to a 7.62 by 51mm NATO round, as you would see in an M14. And here it is compared to a 5.56 by 45mm round that you would commonly see in an M16 or AR-15 rifle. The first AK-47 I'm going to show you is my Romanian SAR-1. This is not built off of a parts kit, but was actually assembled on old Soviet machinery in Romania. One thing I like about the Romanian AK-47 is it has a shorter length of pull. Length of pull is the measurement from the trigger to the end of the buttstock. For shooters that have a longer length of pull, this butt plate can be removed. There's two screws holding it in, and you can add a rubber extended butt pad that gives you about an inch extra on the length of pull, so that the stock does not feel too short when you shoulder it. One thing I love about the AK-47 is how simple it is to use. Here's your magazine release right here. The safety acts as a dust cover. Up is safe, down is fire. If this was a full auto AK-47, which it is not, it is only semi-auto, the first click down would be full auto and all the way down would be semi-auto. But this is only a semi-automatic AK-47, so it only has two positions, safe and fire. The other thing I like is how easy it is to charge around. The charging handle's right here. Simple as that. It also makes a very distinct noise when you load it, which is somewhat intimidating, almost like a 12-gauge shotgun being pumped. And that's another pro about this gun. One thing I like about the Romanian AK-47 is it does have a chrome-lined barrel, so that makes cleaning much easier and gives it a longer barrel life. One thing I don't like about the AK-47 is there's no real bolt hold open. There's just a little bit of friction against the trigger group whenever the bolt's here, and that easily can be overcome by just pushing on the bolt. So on the last round, the bolt will close on an empty magazine and you'll just get a little click, and that's it. So there's no way to know without dropping your hammer on an empty chamber to know that you're out of ammo, unless you use Yugoslavian magazines that have a bolt hold open feature. But even those will only hold the bolt open against the follower, and as soon as you remove the magazine, the bolt will slam shut again. So there's no real bolt hold open feature on the last round of the AK-47. The next AK-47 I'm going to show you is my Yugoslavian underfolder AK-47. It is also known as a Century Arms Model M70AB. To retract the stock on an underfolding AK-47, you simply push this button right here and pull the stock up and bend this back part down just like that. And then it's ready to go. One thing I like about the Yugoslavian AK-47 is it has a 1.5mm thick stamped steel receiver instead of a typical 1mm thick receiver, so it's a little bit stronger. One thing I don't like about the Yugoslavian model is it just has a standard steel barrel. It's not chrome lined. One unique thing about the Yugoslavian AK-47 is it has this strange type of rifled grenade sight attached to the gas block, and when you rotate it up, it actually seals off the gas port here, so that if you did fire a live round through the rifle, it would not cycle because it blocks off the gas and is not able to drive the piston back on the bolt carrier to cycle the weapon. One thing I like about the Yugoslavian AK-47 is it does have flip-up night sights. It has a 3-dot sight system, glow in the dark. I did have to touch up on the paint because it was pretty much gone, so I bought a glow-in-the-dark paint set. One of the common problems people have when they get an AK-47, say from Century Arms or from other places, is they can get something called trigger slap. Trigger slap is when you pull the trigger and you fire the round, and while you're holding the trigger down and the gun cycles, it bumps the trigger forward a little bit as it resets. Well, since this bolt carrier is coming back extremely fast and it bumps the trigger back, after several rounds your finger can become numb from the trigger slapping against your finger. To fix that, I would get a Tapco G2 trigger group. They're usually not that expensive, and they're pretty easy to install. The AK-47 is a very reliable rifle. If you're running into feeding problems, it's probably due to bad magazines, or maybe you just have some burrs that you need to take off with a Dremel tool to fix any feeding problems. But I've never really run into any feeding problems with my AK-47s. They've been running great. One thing to mention about the AK-47 is it's very reliable, but that reliability comes at a price. It trades off for accuracy. I would say that taking this rifle and trying to use it for anything past 200 or 300 yards, you're really pushing the limits of this rifle. If you liked this review, you should check out my RPK review. I'll go ahead and post it as a video response. So check that out if you liked this review. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Deetsy, signing out.